welcome to Taxes Simplified with AOTAX, a podcast series where we try to talk about taxes to make them feel a little less taxing. I'm Tejaswini, your host, and today we have Muzaffar here with us from the AOTAX team who will be answering all our questions. Thank you for joining us, Muzaffar.
Thank you, Tejaswini. It's good to be back.
So, Muzaffar, today's topic is something that I've seen everyone panic about, IRS notices.
Okay. And I'm here to tell you that this is something you don't have to panic about. This is something very manageable, and we're going to break it down one by one.
Still, it instills a sense of sort of fear in people, right? So let's try and fix that today and break it down for everybody, right? Tell us what happens when you get an IRS notice.
So IRS sends notice for many reasons, and generally it's not always bad news. Sometimes it is just asking for more information. Sometimes it's only for confirmation. Sometimes it's just small changes they have done to your tax refunds or tax due amounts. But all in all, they are not scary, all of them. So rest assured, by the time we're done with this, we'll have much better clarity in that.
So it's not necessarily like, hey, you're in trouble. It's more like, we need to talk. Come have a chat.
Definitely. So think of it like, think of IRS like a friend who prefers communicating in letters rather than personal connections. So IRS is just sending letters to, basically clear out some confusions they might have. So once we get to know more about it, it becomes easier.
Tell us what are some of the most common IRS notices that people receive?
So just to name drop some of them, one of them is CP 2000. This relates to if the information on their file is not matching what you have filed. For example, let's say you had a gig work, right? And you had 2 gig works, you reported one and you forgot about the other. But at their end, they already have that on file.
Right.
So this is just a confirmation of sorts. You missed this. So let's fix this kind of a conversation. Similarly, there's CP11, CP12. These are small calculation adjustments for your refund. Maybe they added $10 or you owe another $10 to them. So these kind of situations. Then there is CP14, of course. This is basically asking for money. So basically, you owe something to the IRS. So straight away, it's asking for money. But that's the only one. Remaining most of them, it is more about a confirmation or clarification. Sometimes they spot foreign accounts that may not have been completely reported on your FATCA file. So that's where they kind of send notices asking for more information to get to know it better. So it's nothing to be worried about. It's just that you have to either confirm, or else if their version is the right one, then you just pay up the difference. That's it.
Okay, so if I get an IRS notice, should I just scream into a pillow and call you guys at AOTAX?
Yeah, you can skip the screaming in the pillow part.
Yeah.
Just read the whole notice carefully once, check your old records, and gather as much evidence as you can. And then if you still need assistance, we're always here to help.
So I'm guessing ignoring it is not a good move. Right. So rather than just tossing it aside, I should just open it, read it, take time to understand it.
Exactly. So open it, take a deep breath. You can easily read it. And if still there is something that doesn't make sense to you, we're always there to help support you all throughout.
Can we do a quick example, like something relatable?
Sure. See, let's talk about a very common notice that's prevalent. It's CP 2000, right? We mentioned that sometimes there's a mismatch, right? So how does that work? I give you one example of 1099. So if a person is doing a regular salaried job, a normal employment, and he has a gig work as well. Now, sometimes people feel that since it's gig work and it's a small money, like $200, $300, they ignore reporting it. It's not that they forget. Sometimes they just ignore it. They're like, it's a small amount, what will happen? And sometimes they don't have the proper receipts for it. So they ignore it. But those employers who are giving them freelance work, they report it to IRS. Now, if IRS has records, whatever you are filing has to match. If that doesn't match, that's when CP 2000 is triggered.
Yeah. So it's more like,
just reconcile it. Just reconcile it.
Yeah, if you think you missed it, just okay. It's a lot less scary when you explain it like that.
That's the point. It's about clarity and not fear.
So, tell me something. Does it get more complicated for filers who have foreign income and assets coming in?
So it can to an extent, in the sense that some people who have foreign financial accounts that are reportable when they cross certain thresholds, for example, FBAR and FATCA, we've discussed this multiple times. In those scenarios, if you misreport something or if you have misreported the values, that's when it comes into question, and that's where IRS will ask more information about it. But then again, it is only asking for clarity there from the IRS side of things. It is not to penalize anyone.
So stay calm, gather proof, and call the experts at AOTAX.
Definitely. At AOTAX, this is what we do. We help people gather the evidence and respond appropriately.
Okay, so let's quickly do a recap of what all we discussed today.
All right, so here's what's important about IRS notices. First things first, IRS notices are not all bad. Always open the notice and check the year it is for, and then gather your documents. At the same time, please don't ignore any notice. That's a very bad idea.
I think we've established that.
Yes, it's a very bad idea to ignore it, and you have to answer it within the timeline. If the IRS says you have to reply between 30 and 60 days, you do it within that timeline. Otherwise, everything else goes for a toss for that reason.
After this episode, I've officially conquered the fear of IRS notices. I mean, I'm sounding too confident actually. Not conquered, but I'll open it cautiously, but maybe with a little bit more curiosity.
Right, so I'm glad to hear that. But just to add into this, I've seen a lot of customers who are always struggling with notices. Where first of all, they panic a lot, and then they try to gather all the documents spread across many companies or maybe filers or folders that they have not maintained well. With our team, right, with AOTAX, we have given provisions to our customers where they can store years and years of tax data in one place. So that makes it very organized, and that makes it very easy to retrieve whenever they need it. And hence, I would always say, if you are with the AOTAX in your filing journey, you are on the right side of the law. So if you've received a notice and you're unsure how to respond to it, or you need help with it, you can always reach out to us at AOTAX on the contact details mentioned in the description.
The full Taxes Simplified playlist is out now on AOTAX's YouTube channel. Explore any episode you want anytime. Thank you for being with us this podcast season. Make sure to follow us so you don't miss out on what we come up with next.